Hello, friends, and welcome back to the new episode of r/IDontWorkHereLady. The first one's about a girl who's going to be a store manager, but the employees don't know about it yet. The second one is about Karin lying about being married to the boss, and the last one about a little revenge in the workplace. So let's get started. I don't work here. Yet. Background. I work for a video rental chain for around 6 years. I loved this job. I had to be let go due to cutbacks at one point, but was offered my job back when they needed to restaff a second location in my town. This is important, as I'm not one to take second chances lightly, and I worked my way up to being offered the manager position at an adjacent town. Characters. Me is me. Dad is my dad. LOL is little old lady. H is exiting manager. C is bad employee. CB is C's boyfriend. Staff is staff. And the story. I was offered to be the new manager at a sister location of a video rental store I worked at. I happily accepted and told my folks when I got home. Over the next week, I talked a bit with the current manager of that location, H. I asked things like, what was the clientele like, what restaurants are nearby the store, and finally, what's the staff like? For that last one, she informed me that the staff was great, except for one particular employee, C. C apparently was never on time, had a number of complaints regarding her language on the sales floor. H offered to let C go for me, but I told her that I would handle it should it be necessary. A week before my introduction to the staff, my dad randomly asked if I wanted to drive over to the store to get a feel for it before I started there. I said yes, and off we went. I checked the schedule to see who was working, and it was C. When we arrived, I immediately noticed that C was in clear violation of the dress code as she was not wearing the uniform. Khaki pants, solid colored polo shirt, and name tag. She was wearing a spaghetti strap tank top, very short cut-off jean shorts that showed the pockets hanging under the leg opening, and no name tag. There was another guy working who was running the return movies to the shelves and was also in violation of the dress code. Monster Energy t-shirt and baggy jeans. This struck me as odd, as she was the only one scheduled and it was slow. My dad and I walked around talking quietly to ourselves and then noticed the Western section and excused himself to browse. A few minutes later, I felt a tap on my shoulder. It was a little old lady. LOL. I need some help finding a movie. Me. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't work here, and it's my first time in the store, so I don't quite know my way around yet. LOL. Can you please help me anyway? That rude girl up there can't be bothered to help, and that boy apparently isn't on staff. Me. He isn't? Then why is he doing the work? LOL. They're sweeties, if you can call it that. I know his parents. Me. Her boyfriend is visiting her on the clock and is doing her work for her? LOL. Yes. Me. Well, that's no good. What did you need help with? LOL. I can't find a movie my grandson wants. She tells me the name of the movie and I help her find it. I also recommended 2 more as they were rent to get one signs posted all around the store. LOL. Thank you so much. They should get rid of her and hire you. Me. Give it a week. She looked at me a little confused, but I just smiled and told her to trust me. My dad came up to me holding some movies, and I asked if he'd wait for me in the car while I grabbed them. He said, okay, and I went up to C. C. Find what you were looking for? Me, with a chuckle. I guess you could say that. Oh, I have an account at the stores in my town's name. C. Okay, I just need to see your account card so I can make you one here. While she was typing everything up, CB walks in and starts talking to C. CB, this guy hitting on you? C. No, he's just a customer. Quit being an a-hole and finish putting those damn movies up. CB. How many more do I gotta effing put up? C. All of them. I ain't doing that crap. They don't pay me enough to do that mess. So I'm just standing there, a bit baffled, and since I've been at the store, she's now committed write-up offenses and doesn't even seem to care. She rings me up and hands me the movies. I asked her when they were due, as she didn't say. You're supposed to say the due date upon handing the movies over so that the cameras record the dialogue. CYA, folks. They were due in a week, which I thought was perfect because that was the day of my intro meeting with the staff. I think you see where this is going now. So 1 week later, it was the day of the intro meeting and I drive over. When I got there, I introduced myself to H and asked her to please pull up the footage from my transaction on the cameras and then turn the monitor off for me. She looked confused for a second, but then a smirk. I told her to call me over when everyone arrived. The rest of the staff showed up shortly, and C showed up about 15 minutes late. H got on her for being late and warned her that the new manager may not be so forgiving. C stated that she wasn't afraid as they were understaffed and can't afford to let anyone go. H began the meeting by announcing that they would be getting to meet the new manager and called me over. C's eyes widened and she went white when I walked up. Me. Hello, everyone. I wanted to start off by addressing something that I've been told is an issue here. H, could you play that tape back for me? H, sure thing. We all watch the footage and everyone is just standing in tense silence, especially C. Me. I'm guessing you were all able to spot what was wrong with that footage. C, do you have anything you'd like to say? C, whatever you... Me, cutting her off. I thought so. Well, since you violated our uniform policy, had your boyfriend working for you and hanging out during your shift, used vulgar language in front of a customer, my first act as manager of this store is to fire you. Please collect your things and leave. C started to tear up and left. I then turned to the rest of the staff and continued. Me. Well, that must have been awkward for all of you. But hey, from here on out, I believe you'll see that I'm pretty laid back as long as you simply follow the rules. The next day, LOL came to return her movies and saw me behind the register. LOL. You weren't kidding, were you? Me. No, ma'am. I was actually checking the store out with my dad that day. LOL. And that girl? Me. Not gonna be rude to you in the future. LOL. Haha. Well, I'm afraid these are all late. Me. Don't sweat it. I tell you what, I'll waive the late fees on 2 conditions. First, you allow me to apologize for whatever was said to you last week by that girl. 2, you be sure to let me know when your grandson is coming to town so I can help you find him movies to watch. LOL. I think I can accept those terms. LOL ended up being one of my favorite customers. She would even bring me food when she saw I was working alone at night. Her chili was freaking amazing. I managed that store to its very end as sadly video rental stores were going out all over the place. C did try to call about getting her job back, but I simply said that I wouldn't be doing so as I had just hired 3 more staff members to help with the understaffing issue. Karin tries to get me fired, then says she married my gay cousin. For a little backstory, I'm in my junior year, grade 11, and I'm taking an education course which basically teaches you how to be a teacher. We have to have field experience or practical work. We basically get sent to a school and put into a classroom to help the teacher. It's a great way to see if teaching is right for you. Well, the classroom I'm currently stationed in is a pretty good one. I know the teacher pretty well because she was my teacher and my brother's teacher when we were younger. This means she trusts me to do a lot more than other teachers probably would. Her class was having a back-to-school party, and the teacher asked if I would mind getting some sodas the night before, and she'd pay me back for them. The reason she asked is she forgot them, and she's old, so it happens. And of course, I agree. So I go to our local store, grab 3 12-packs of soda. There's only 24 kids in the class, but I wasn't sure what they liked, plus the teachers could just have whatever was left over. I decided to also get a few small gifts like candy or small toys as they were cheap. By the time I finished, my cart was pretty full, but I was obviously shopping and not working. As I'm walking to the till, I decide to go ahead and grab some cheap things for me to have for dinner that night as well. I stop my cart and start reaching up on the shelf to grab things. While I'm turning around, a woman starts digging around in my cart. I quickly stop her and ask her, "What are you doing?" She says, "Well, you aren't stocking shelves, I'm just taking some of the candy." Now, to be fair, I was still wearing my school uniform, which is pretty similar to the store's. Both are khaki pants and blue polos, but the store shirts have the store name on the back. I decide to give her the benefit of the doubt and say, "No, I'm just shopping. I need this candy for school. Please put it back." So she starts getting huffy and says, "You're wearing the uniform. Stop lying or I'll have you fired. My husband's the manager." Now I know she's lying. I know because my cousin is the manager. My cousin is married, but definitely not to her. He's gay. I say, "I know that isn't true. Just give me my candy." I take it back from her and head to the till, and as I'm checking out, I see her complaining to none other than my cousin. I pay and decide to let her know that I knew she was full of crap. I go and give my cousin a hug and ask him how his husband was doing. Her face went red, and she hurried off. Petty revenge feels good. I used to work for a lingerie and clothing company. No, not that one. And my boss was the absolute worst. She would give half-butt training, then write us up if we asked too many questions on how to do something. She had the stupidest rules and didn't do things the way the commas wanted us to. Instead of using an online scheduling system like every other effing store, we had to call the store between 9:30 and 10 at night to get our schedules. If we didn't call in that time slot, we had to come into the store and ask to have it printed off. She tried to get girls to stay after their shift to help out, waiting until they clocked out, then asking them to do one specific task that for some reason just could not be done when they were still on the clock. Myself and some of the older girls brushed her off, but the younger and less experienced girls would do her bidding. No overtime, but an extra 10 to 20 minutes of folding shirts or organizing the undie drawers. Eventually, I had enough and put in my 2 weeks. Come my last shift, we were swamped and something in our system was glitched and would only accept the current promo if a manager signed off. The promo was a hella good deal, and B-Face and I were the only ones with clearance to authorize the sale. My last 8 hours were standing by the register and authorizing the promo. It was a fingerprint system, no codes, and you needed several days and a company higher up to authorize anyone else. End of my shift, and she grabs my shirt, looking desperate. "Stay! I'm the only one with authorization and I need my break." I grin, tug my shirt out of her grasp. "Sorry, I don't work here." Hey guys, hope you enjoyed today's stories, and we'll see you soon.